So, do you remember crazy things that happened to you from your childhood? And you look back over those and you be like, wow, I really saw that. I really dealt with that. Hey guys, it's your girl Shawn, and my granddaughter has challenged me. She really has, because she said that I need to start doing story time. And I was like, yeah, but what do I tell a story about? And she was like, Gigi, you be telling some amazing stories and they be crazy, different stuff that you experienced. And I'm like, yeah, but it's in the middle of us talking about something and you ask me a question and then I go off on a tangent about a story. She was like, yeah, but those stories be so good, so you need to start telling those. Y'all, so if you're from Kentucky, or not Kentucky, if you're from Louisville and you heard my country coming out when I started talking about home, if you're from Louisville, Kentucky, then you know that there used to be a project, housing project, and it was called Cotter Homes. The real name is Cotter Lang Homes, but everybody just called it Cotter Homes. Well, I grew up in Cotter Homes. Well, I didn't grow up there. We moved there when my mom and dad got divorced, I guess. I don't know how, from what age, maybe 5 or 6, until I was, I think, 9. It seemed like we lived there for a long time. I'm gonna have to ask my mom the actual age. I remember leaving there. I remember I went to kindergarten there in 1st grade. And then they switched me to a different school, but we still lived in the same area. And I think I went to 2nd and 3rd there. Yeah, so from kindergarten to 3rd grade, we lived in Cotter Lang Homes. And it's crazy. When I was in kindergarten, there used to be a van service. And this man used to pick me up in a van and take me to school. And he would pick me up afterwards, right? Now, this shows you the difference between kids now and Generation X. Do you not know, when I was in 1st grade, I was walking to school. I was walking to school by myself. I was walking to school by myself, and it was some kids that were bullies. This is the first story that I remember, like, vividly. It was some kids that picked on me. First of all, they decided to, I don't know if they do this now, they took me out of kindergarten because they said I was intellectually advanced, and they put me in the class with 1st graders. So these, and my birthday's in November, so my birthday falls kind of behind, makes me like a year or so behind anyway, other kids, right? So now I am in with 7-year-olds. First story I remember is I had a teacher. Her name was Miss Green, and she was one of my favorite memories of a teacher, because they gave us handouts, and the handouts, it had questions on it, and it said, what is your mother's name and what is your father's name? And I put Mama and Daddy. I put Mama and Daddy, and somebody saw my paper, and so they were making fun of me. So then they was like, you don't know your Mama and Daddy's name? And I thought Mama and Daddy was their name. And so I was crying, and my teacher put me on her lap, and I was, I had to, she would ask me the different questions and had me help me fill out my papers. And that would go on for a little while. And then they eventually said, she is not mature enough for the first grade. No duh, Sherlock. So, yeah, they were going by scores or classwork or something. I don't know what they were going by. That they decided that I needed to be put in the class with all these kids. Then oh God, another story from that time too, I remember. There's a lot. From that time also, I remember we had playtime and I needed to use the bathroom. And see, when you were in kindergarten or Head Start or whatever class I was in, they would take you to the bathroom. And there were bathrooms, or either there was a bathroom in the classroom. I didn't know how to ask for use the restroom. So I sat there and I peed on myself. I sat on the floor and the kids said, there's a puddle on the floor. And I had to change into, you know, the little lost and found goodie bag of clothes. I remember that. Okay, what other crazy story? See, now that I'm sitting here thinking about stuff. Another crazy story from that time is that, like I was saying, there was some bullies in the classroom. And for whatever reason, I guess because I was so little and young, they decided to pick on me. And so they would chase me home every day. And I would be running, and I would run so far. And if you know anything about the projects, there's this little brick wall, and then I guess there's stairs that go down in there. I don't know what those led to. I don't know if it was like, I guess, the maintenance area or whatever. And so I would sit on the little concrete thing and sit there because I had to pee and shake, 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 and then take off running again when I seen them getting closer. So I would have to run home every day because these kids were pick on me. And I told my mom, I don't know if I went home and was crying. And so she asked what was wrong. Another boomer Gen X thing. And instead of my mom going to the school, she wrote a note. I'm still mad at her about that. So she writes a note and she sends it with me to school. So guess what the smart teacher decided to do? So smart. Genius. They decided to keep me after school. Now, not give me a ride home from school so I wouldn't have to walk. They would keep me. So then guess what would happen? The kids would be waiting for me. So I would have to stay after school for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Seemed like forever. And then, so now I'm walking home and there's absolutely no other kids walking home. And these kids done went home, changed clothes, had a snack or whatever, and they're waiting for me. So I would have to run still home every day. So after a while... I don't know how I ended up telling my cousin, and she asked to come and spend the weekend with us. So she comes, and I think it was a weekend when it was a long weekend because it seemed like she was there for a while. So she comes and she spends the weekend with us, and she beats the people. Now, my cousin was only a year older than me, but she's always been taller than me, right? And a little bit thicker than me at the time because I was a scrawny little puny thing. I probably wouldn't have been getting chased home from school. So she went around there and knocked on the people's door and told them to come outside. And I think she beat one of them up. And she told them if they mess with me again, that she would be back. So that was the end of getting chased home in Southwick Elementary School. But then I went to John F. Kennedy Elementary School. And I went to John F. Kennedy Elementary School. And like I said, I'm only 5 feet now. So I was little. And there was these other kids. And it was a bunch of girls. I've always wanted a friend group. And I have not found one. So I'm an introvert, so it's hard for me to like mesh with other people. So I see these girls, and this girl, she's tall, and I'm looking up to her because she's tall, and I think she's cute. I also had a problem with my complexion, because people would tease me about the color of my skin, because I was light. They would tell me I wasn't black, I was white. But look at this wool hair that I'm working on right now. 4C, honey. So, I was walking home with them, and they was all eating candy or snacks. And some kind of way, I ended up carrying this girl's lunch bag. And so when I asked her for some of the snack or whatever that they were all sharing, she told me no. And I was like, well, I ain't carrying your lunch bag. And she was like, yes, you are. And I dropped it on the ground and ran. And so they chased me home. They were mad. But I don't think they mess with me anymore. I think it was just that one-time thing. But yeah, Cotter Homes was very interesting. That was some of the funny things. Oh, then I remember there was a family that lived across the walkway from us, and they were always fighting other families, other kids. And I think it was my sister's birthday party. It wasn't mine because it wasn't winter time. My sister had a birthday party, and we invited the little sister that was from that family to our house for this party. And her brother was mad because he couldn't come in. First of all, he was a bully, and he would pick on people. So there's no way he was coming to the party. Second of all, it was all girls, and you're a boy, and he was older than us. Probably about 3 or 4 years older than us. Now, I'm 3 to 4 years older than my sister, and you're 3 to 4 years older than me. So why would you be coming to a party for girls that age, right? So he comes over and he knocks on the he bangs on the door, and they kind of like did whatever they wanted to do. Their mother was like really quiet, and well, to me, it appeared to me that she was quiet, and they kind of just like ran the house. So he comes and he beats on the door, and he's like, his sister had to come out. And I was like, no, because my mother asked permission for her to come over here. And your mother said that she could come. If I can't come in, then she can't stay. So I step out on the porch, and he threatens me. He threatens to hit me. It's one time I like grew some bravery or something, I don't know. And he was like, he was gonna hit me. And I said, if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Now, everybody else, he fought and beat up and all that. But for some reason, me saying that, I don't know if there was a Jolly Green Giant, a halo, what, behind me. But he left, and we went on with the party. And they would pick on everybody, but they never picked on us. I don't know why. That was like the one and only time. They got into so many fights. I remember he swung a broom at this lady's stomach that was pregnant because they like cut one of her kids, and it was just all kind of fighting, and they were like their own little mini gang. But it was just him and the older sister. I don't remember the other sister ever being involved in any of it. But she was little, so. But that was crazy. Then there was a kid that used to live across from us. And every day his mom would lock him out of the house. And we would sit on the porch, and you would watch him climb up the, what is it called? Like the drain spout thing. What is that thing called? Whatever. He would climb up that and climb. I guess he would leave his window open. Because he would climb. That's how he would get in the house. Because she would have company over and she would lock the door. Okay? So that's some of the craziness. Now, some of the scary stuff is, I remember one time we were over my mother's friend's house and we were sitting on the porch and they were shooting dice on the end of the block. And this dude won. And they wanted a chance to win their money back. And he got up and he went to walk away. And when he walked away, they ran up behind him and hit him in the head with a gun. Now, we're kids sitting outside. And my mother and them was like, go in the house, go in the house. But, of course, we're nosy kids. So we run upstairs and we're looking out the window. And, yeah, they hit him in the head, knocked him unconscious, and went through his pockets and took their money back. Then there was another time we were outside. And we were in the middle of the courtyard and we was playing and they started shooting. And when you were a kid in the projects, and your mom says, get down, you know that means to hit the dirt and crawl. So we hit the dirt, crawled in the house, and hid. It wasn't aimed at us, but yeah. So those are some of the most vivid memories that I have from growing up in Cotter Homes. There are, then there was a black police lady. And they used to call her Christy Love. I guess there used to be a show on when I was a kid about a black police officer named Christy Love. And I remember it was a big old field in the middle. And they were chasing a suspect. So she's running. And then here comes a police car flying through the middle of the thing. I remember that. What else is... I have a scary memory, but we'll talk about that in a different episode. But yeah, those are some of the crazy highlights. Oh. The other one is... No, I'll save that one. It was good enough to be by itself, too. Let's talk about how crazy I was when I was a kid. I was... And I still am a little awkward and weird and whatever. So, yeah, we'll talk about that story later. So, this is Shawn in story time. If you want to hear more stories about my life as a child growing up in the 70s and 80s, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to share my life story with you guys. I'm 56 now, and so there's been a lot of living going on. Remember, health is wealth, peace is power. Don't let anybody steal your shine. I'll be back.